Hello and welcome to episode 1 of a new series here on the channel where we will be jumping into Anbennar playing as the nation of Keyolion. We are now in the official Scions of Sarhal update, so it is added in a new continent, though we are not actually playing on that new continent, as there isn't many mission trees that are quite ready for it yet, but that entire continent is in. Today we're going to be playing in South Alecand, somewhere that we have only visited on the channel once before, playing as a Kheonai, and this is definitely going to go a little bit differently. I think it's less kind of a war-focused tag and more about, I think it's like growing sugar. That's our whole thing. We grow sugar. But let's get into this a little bit more. We have a primer here for our region, so let's go ahead and read that. The Kheonai all descend from great cities on the island of Alecand. Little is known of their ancient past or why the great wards surround these cities, but what is known is the wards would protect their inhabitants from the day of ashen skies. After the catastrophe, they would leave their warded settlements to find a shocking sight. The Kheonai found a completely alien landscape with no civilization to be found. They went about rebuilding what had been lost and colonized the lands surrounding their cities. Their civilization flourished despite the many dangers of their new environment. The Day of Ashen Skies had created a massive, magically contaminated desert northeast of the cities. Its blue-colored sands caused extremely cancerous growths on the body, and it would cause permanent, potentially lethal damage to all those who touched directly by it. Periodically, great storms of this sand, called Kheonai, would hit the Kheonai cities, with only their great wards saving them. The sands also gave the Kheonai their characteristic blue skin color. It would not be long before the Kheonai would found colonies across the sea, where many exiles, colonists, and excess population would be sent to. Known as Nakis, most of them are still under the overlordship of their parent cities, with only Amgremos being completely independent by 1444. To the west, the barbarian people of the western side of Alecand, the Ulti Bahari, have recently united under a single king and are preparing for an invasion against the Kheonai. A great war broke out in northern Alecand, which led to the partitioning of Kheonai between Degakheon and Octakheon. An uneasy truce stands between the two city-states, both waiting for the other to make the first move. Tales and rumors come from the east of the Kheon of Amion and its leader Lascaris, who have conquered great portions of Taken with the goal of taking the great city of Nanru Nakar. The Kheonai are the dominant and most advanced civilization of South Alecand, but this may not last forever, and it is up to you to lead your nation into the future. Alright, now, with the newest update, we have some options here when we start the game. If your PC is not up to loading all of this territory and all the nations inside of it, you can go ahead and disable them. I will not be doing that, as I want everyone to be around and doing things and possibly coming over to interact with us eventually, so we will keep everybody in. We can also enable or disable Great Conquerors or Mythical Conquerors. So Great Conquerors will add in very strong leaders to a random amount of tags in the world at one time. Mythical Conquerors are just even stronger versions of Great Conquerors and are very, very scary. We will play with Great Conquerors as I usually do. We are also playing on hard, just because it seems more fun. Alright, and there are achievements now in Anbennar. We are not currently going for one in this run. I don't think there's any we can grab, but I guess we'll see. Maybe at some point we'll be able to snag one. Alright, and we'll go ahead and start. And then we have a little bit of info about our tag specifically. Sugarcane Scions. Kylakis Salusa felt the burden of her recent election as the leader of Keyolion. Lately, to ease her own mind, she found comfort in silent walks along the shores of the city-state. Today, one worry troubled her. It was the story of how their Kheon came to be, a tale passed from generation to generation. Our mother city, Octakheon, nestled among the hills of Alecand, lacked the spaciousness of the other Kheons. Most of its people lived near the coast, where our ancestors had built up the Kheonai wards. Quickly, Octakheon grew too dense for comfort. When we heard of the new lands that the other Kheons had found across the sea, free from the deathly winds, we decided to follow suit. We were not the first to arrive, but we were lucky to find a safe haven that we could call our own. On Devand, they found themselves in a similar predicament. The Hasmazah Mountains stretched like a spine across the land, almost reaching the Cape of Piroga, hindering their expansion inland. Keyolion, much like its mother Kheon, would grow too dense for its confines, and when that happened, the state would have to be ready. Salusa's proposal and the reason for her election was her initiative to improve the land outside of the Kheon. Already a new settlement on the coast was being worked on, but this was where the problems began. The Keyolioni had inherited one thing from their mother Kheon, the expertise to grow great sugarcane, something which the mountains were ill-suited for. The coasts around them were already claimed. Once they were fully settled and cultivated, where would they go? Only time will tell. We gained 50 settlers in a province just south of one of our provinces, and until 1449, we have 10% local settler chance and plus 40 local settler increase in that province. We will go ahead and send our colonists there. once we choose a native policy. Now, are there natives here? There are 2,500 of them, and we start off on Tech 3. So I am going to go for, I think, aggressive colonization. We're going to go native repression to get more colonists at one time. I think that will work, and then I can send my guy out there. Okay, so we are playing as Keyolion. We are over here on the subcontinent of Devand, I believe, right? Or in the region of Devand, subcontinent of Kheonai. We are a vassal underneath Octakeon. So we have an overlord who we obviously are going to want to get away from as soon as we possibly can. And I think our best bet for that is to side with Kheon, their rival. I believe they start off rivaled. Yes, they do. Now, the problem is he kind of wants our land, so we're going to need to improve with him. But eventually, we may get to where we have enough liberty desire to get our independence supported. Let's take a look at our nation in other factors. So we start off with a 333 ruler. We are a republic, and I don't think that will be changing. I think we stay as a republic for the whole time. We are kind-hearted, and we have a silver tongue. I'm half tempted to focus on military, but I'll hold off on that for now. We are Ruinborn, so we are essentially elves that have been hit by radioactive magic and have been changed, and we've lost some of our elven traits, and now we are known as Ruinborn. Our administration gives us plus 20% domestic trade power, minus 20% improved relations, minus 15% institution spread, 15% reform progress growth, minus 10% minimum autonomy in territories, which is massive, and minus 10% cost of advisors with rulers' religion. Our military gives us 10% less national sailors. We take 30% less land attrition, plus 1 land leader maneuver, minus 15% reinforced speed, 10% morale hit when losing a ship, and minus 10% shock damage received. So in the early game, we take a little bit less damage, but considering pretty much everyone we're fighting is also Ruinborn, it's not that big of a deal. Eventually, that morale hit when losing a ship may come to hurt us, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see, economy here, not good. Not good at all. We do not have many provinces. Tech, we start off on 3. Our national ideas, we start with plus 1 colonist and minus 10% infantry combat ability. Or sorry, infantry cost. Minus 10% combat ability would be very bad. No, minus 10% cost, so that is nice. We do have quite the mission tree here that focuses on kind of securing this area for ourselves from the looks of it, and growing sugar. Now, we do have an option here to form Thanos, which I don't think has a mission tree. I'm not seeing that it gives us any missions. But I mean, that could be something that we can go for, just as kind of like a final thing as a tag change. We could also maybe move our capital over to here and form Chaos, but we'll see how that develops. Religion, we are Kheonism, so that gives us 10% trade efficiency and 0.25 yearly Republican tradition. Kheonism is the predominant philosophical and ideological tradition among the Kheonai peoples. The philosophy focuses on the role of the Republican city-state as the most civilized form of governance, and the city-state as the basis of all civilization. Kheonism does not innately recognize any belief in a higher power, for it is a uniquely atheist doctrine, lacking in any kind of spirituality. Instead, Kheonists place their faith in their elected leaders to defend them and lead them into the future. So essentially, we are built for having republics and getting lots of Republican tradition, which is going to be very nice, which means we're going to be able to elect leaders pretty often and still keep a high amount of Republican tradition. We do start off with Madridic rule, and I believe this can be changed out at some point. But for right now, Madridites of Kheonis is best known for his great treatise on government, Tides, a series of dialogues on the ebb and flow of the fortunes of elves and their Kheons. Madrides argued that every government has strengths and weaknesses that expose themselves in times of acute stress. Of the many forms of government, those that fail to adapt always fail, while those that can grow will minimize stressors on their society and hold the best chance to thrive. As such, Madridic government policy seeks to prevent the entrenchment of static forces that will stop a state from evolving as needed, and emphasizes the importance of destroying special interest groups that will steer a government away from being able to act decisively and responsibly to its people. If our crown land rises about 33%, the current modifier will be replaced with minus 10% admin tech cost. That is tempting. I won't lie. I won't lie to you. That is very good. But I still think we're going to give out a lot of stuff to our estates here to get a monarch point advantage. And we are now here at dealing with our estates. So, I mean, I kind of want to sell titles here, but at the same time, getting all of the PowerPoints, I think is too good for us to pass up. So we're going to grab all of them. And then we're going to seize. Now, there is a mission here that is going to require people being loyal, right? At least I thought there was. Maybe there's not. Well, that one does. Yeah, the mage's loyalty needs to be 40, but that's not a big deal. No, it seems we're good. And if we're not, well, they'll be loyal eventually, right? Because I do want to seize Crown Land here. That would be rather nice. Let's just go ahead and do that. And then let's go through and do everything else. So let's give out established missions and lands for more native assimilation. Let's do oversight of the philosophers, religious diplomats. I mean, do I want religious culture? No, I don't want to lose that 5 crown land. Let's get this reform progress growth, because that's going to stack nicely with our regular reform progress growth that we get from our administration. And where's the... I guess we already got the colonization one here. Donations, institutionalized philosophers. Ooh, lose 3 Republican tradition. No, thank you. That's probably good for now for them. The nobility, we can get supremacy over the council. I would like nobility officer rights. And I thought there was one for colonization. Maybe not. Maybe that's locked behind an idea group. It might be. Okay, well in that case, we'll give them right of council. Core positions, I don't really care. Conscription, I don't really care. But I do like officer rights. Merchant guilds, I know you have something I very much want, and that is colonial charters for plus 10 global settler increase and 5% settler chance. I will take free enterprise, and yeah, I'll take private trade fleets. And promote merchant guilds bookkeeping. That will work too. We're going to want to hand out forced draft at some point, but for now, we don't need to grant it. But that is in my plans, because we'll need some boats probably to defeat our overlord. And if we get like 3 heavies and park them right here, we'll probably just win based off of those heavies alone. So we'll see. As for the last 5 of our Crown Land points, I'm thinking we give it to the adventurers and give them generous quest rewards. Oh, no, actually, I don't need to, because I can give them pioneer initiatives for 5% settler chance and plus 10 global settler increase. So I can do that, and that gets them up to 45. And then the mages, I can give patronage of the magical arts. And honestly, I kind of want to give them reduced research regulations as well, just because it will get us up to all power cost faster. So let's do that. And then we will summon the diet. What do you all want? You want me to colonize? We're not going to colonize that for a long time. So I guess, what province are you wanting me to develop? They all want me to develop the same thing. Okay. In that case, I will choose the military one. Or the mages one. Do the military one. Okay. So let's go ahead and get a general here. I'll make the nobles a little bit disloyal. They'll get over it though. And a 342. 0342 is not bad. So go ahead and do that. And then I do want to build up to my force limit here. And then we can go ahead and protect trade here. And then I think I'm going to sell these galleys. I don't really want them. They're not going to really help us. And getting a little bit of cash right now seems very, very nice. So can I sell them to my overlord? That's like the worst person I could sell them to, but I could if things go poorly. Can I sell them to you, even though you're hostile? No, because you're hostile. I suppose that tracks. You're not hostile to me, though. You won't pay me. Hey, guys, come on. Someone around here has got to want ships other than my overlord, right? What about you? Nope. Really? No one? No one at all? Dang. This is so sad. No one. Alright, fine. Here you go. There's a galley. I wonder if you guys would be willing to buy them. I don't know. Let's send them over there. And if they don't want them, then we'll just delete them. Okay. Gives us a little bit of cash to play with, and I think we're good to unpause here. So let's start improving relations with our overlord's enemies, and let's take a look at our missions. So they want us to follow the dictats of Isbarocaeus. I'm assuming since it's blue, it's this. They want us to change which one we're focused on, which, I mean, sure, we could do eventually. Collect samples. I need to own at least one drylands province. And I need 3 transports docked in them. And then I need 3 regiments there, or I need to pay the person 10 gold. So, like, if I can get fleet basing rights here, then we could do that, but I don't know. I think we're going to colonize this area first, and then we're going to grab this so we can finish this state, and then we'll try and snag a province over here if we can. But if you look, these natives are, like, super, super aggressive. So we're going to want to make sure that we're probably at least Tech 4 before we go over there. Otherwise, we'll just lose a bunch of manpower. All right, I do have another place that I can throw my merchant. And I think here is going to be our best bet. Our Overlord has decided they want to divert our trade, which I have to admit, I'm not a huge fan of. So the faster that we can get stronger and not be messed with like that, the better, because that's going to hurt our economy. Stealth ships. Nope. You. Nope. Ameon. No fleet in their supply range. Well, just move up here. We get increased local settlers and more native assimilation and less uprising chance. That's nice. Hey, will you buy 2 ships? No. Okay. What about you? Permanent nations can't buy shit. Okay, just delete them. I don't want to pay for them. Not interested. Alright, good. Our Overlord is no longer diverting our trade. We can afford to lose the government reform progress. I don't want to lose stab right now. That would be kind of a waste. Now, I would like to possibly start getting some advisors going, but yeah, that colony is very expensive, but it is important to us. Now, we're going to need to develop every institution. So, I mean, we can do that in our capital here, but it is 50% more expensive because we're a vassal. So preferably we're independent by that time, but we are waiting on finishing this mission and then independence plot, find a supporter, all of that. So we'll see how it goes. We are bleeding money currently though, which is fine. We get cocoa in this province, nice. Spy network construction or prestige? How much spy network do I need? Because I'm pretty sure I need a spy network on someone, right? Nope. I just need a significant event to occur. No. Oh, there it is. That one does. Okay. Well, by 1451. Am I gonna have this done by that time? RPD for spy network size at least 50. I mean, yeah, sure. We'll see. It's possible. It is possible. Ooh, 10% infantry combat ability. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so we have Chaos, who is a vassal. We have Neon, who is a vassal. Bisolaki, who is a vassal. Essentially, we're like little colonies for these guys. That's what we are. We're colonies, but just in vassal form. Which is A-okay for now. You know. And by A-okay, I mean I am plotting their downfall. But other than that, we're friends. You know? It's nothing personal. It's just the way it is. I do need to improve relations with my overlord, though, don't I? Yes, I do. Well, they need at least 50 relations, and they have it right now, so it's not a huge deal. Now, I'm kind of bleeding money here. So I think we're going to have to go to the merchants and go indebted to them already. For only 13 ducats, which isn't great. But it is something. What? Ooh, plutocratic coup. Yeah, that's not very cool. I'm just saying, what if you didn't do that? Have you thought about that? Change... Okay, I need stab 1 to change my political philosophy. Yeah, this one wants us... So they want us to follow different ones. Kheonai has the increased enlistment. And for 20 years, we get plus 1,000 manpower increase. And we construct a barracks for no money. Huh. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's stab up then. And let's change our political philosophy. So we've called for a new course to guide the governing body. Unless I really needed this one for something, but I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing that we need to change. So, Isparo Chaos gives advisor cost, Diplo advisor cost minus 20%. This gives military advisor cost minus 20%. I mean, we need to be ready. When we declare independence, we're getting 3. Okay, so we have to do both of these anyways. Let's do the military one then. Yeah. And then we will place down an increased enlistment. There we go. And that completes the Keyolion militia. We have mostly avoided conflict with the natives, as long as they vacated the vicinity of our new settlements. Recently, however, the natives have become more aggressive, perhaps as a result of the increased colonization of their previous homelands throughout Devand. This has alarmed some of our rural population. We should train and arm them to give them a better chance to protect themselves against any wandering barbarians. Oh yes, yes, true. So true. How dare they? For 20 years, we get plus 1,000 manpower, and we get a barracks for 0% of the cost and 200% of the time, which is a couple techs early of getting barracks, which is pretty sweet, because that gives us local manpower modifier plus 50%, which, while it's not a whole bunch, it is something, and I will take it. Wait, can I just change this whenever I want? Oh, dang. There's no downside? I'm sure there's a downside. I'm not seeing a downside. So I need 2 light ships present in Keyolion, and the owner of Chaos either needs to be me, or they need to have increased opinion. So I need to start improving relations with you. We could pull away from you. You're no longer hostile. Oh, they have a truce with our overlord for another couple months, but as long as they stay not hostile, then we should be good, hopefully. I do need to build another light ship, so let's go ahead and do that. Build one in our capital here, and you know what, actually keep that. Improve relations. Well, no, actually it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Support my independence. Let me be free, please. I do not wish to pay the taxes. There we go. We now have our independence supported by these guys, and our colony is completed. We are having some problems with our merchant guilds, but they'll be loyal soon enough. Do I want to immediately colonize this, or do I want to try and snag one of these provinces to be able to complete this without paying the 10 gold? Decisions. Well, I think we should just focus on our area, to be honest with you. Though this does get the northern port, which happens in 1 year. I do wonder if that lets me buy the province off of them. I doubt it. How are these guys doing on their colony? Okay. Because grabbing this would be pretty nice. I won't lie. So let's do that. It's kind of dumb. Like, it'd be better to secure my state, but at the same time, this is going to save me a lot of money. And money is kind of our big thing right now, so, like, it's the thing we don't have. And there's no gold around us anywhere, so we just kind of have to make it ourselves. Including from the sugar out here, which is rightfully our territory. Okay, collect a sample. When the first settlers of Piroga discovered its vast, empty fields, ideal for sugarcane plantations, they also noticed the occasional heaps of fine sand, blown by the northern winds from the drylands. Lacking all the malicious properties of the deathly Kheonai winds, the sand soon found use in blooming glass craftsmanship. Our trade partners are eager to buy more of our affordable glass products, and we have already arranged some of the local artisans' cooperation in this venture. All they are asking for is some materials to study straight from the source. Well, I can do that. For 5 years, our glass province gets minus 0.5 local goods produced, but in 1 year, we get the northern port to happen. I don't know what that does, but we'll find out. An election, and we will, of course, keep her. She's 35, so we're just going to re-elect her and keep her forever. Like, forever, ever. She's never allowed to not rule this nation. Sorry. You're stuck. Forever. The trial. Gain 5 Republican tradition or gain a bunch of monarch points. I will take the Republican tradition. Because eventually when we get our next tier and we get republicanism, then we might not have to do those kind of things. And we may be able to get away with, you know, getting more monarch points. Alright, the slave trade. Well, sugar plantations, I guess that does track. The Kheon of Ipikeos is the largest slave market in Devand. Okay, it's not us, it's them. Whew. We should establish closer... Oh, well, I guess that kind of defeats the ooh moment. We should establish closer ties with their leaders and strike a profitable deal for both our countries. After each raid, they will grant us the privilege of choosing the best of the captured barbarians to serve in our plantations. In return, we will share some of the profits of the lucrative sugar trade. Or, hear me out, we conquer them and take all the money. I'm just saying. For 50 years, we get slave trade deal, which gives plus 10 local trade power, 30% local production efficiency, and 0.5 local goods produced. Is that everywhere? No, it's just our capital. And then they get the event the slave trade happens, and we gain 10 prestige as well. Now, I need to have a bunch of dudes over here, so let's transport everybody back over for a second. There we go. And I can complete soldiers by law. Look at that. We are just blasting through these missions. I could hire a military advisor to not lose 50 military power, and I think I want to do that. We'll grab the discipline guy. Okay. I'd rather spend the money. We had underestimated how politically secluded we truly are. And Neon, our southern neighbors, are always looking to expand. The Alecand cling to their lands in Devand and even covet our own. In the past years, it's become a tradition to educate children in self-defense. We will build upon these skills. Every citizen fit to fight will be given a martial education. By law, we will require them to serve in the army so they may protect the country if war breaks out. Alright, so until the end of the game, we get 5% national manpower, we get permanent claims on the Neon and Besalakai areas, and when we declare independence, we will gain 3 infantry units for free. Which, if we look at our current force limit here, we have 3 less because we are a subject nation. So when we declare our independence, we will instantly be brought up to our land force limit, which is pretty good. Okay, now we're waiting for some significant event to happen. Yeah, we're literally just waiting for a significant event to happen. I do need to build a spy network on these guys, so let's go ahead and do that. Who else are you rivaled to? Would you be willing to support my independence? No, you don't know I exist. Who else? Oh. Oh. You mean the people I'm building a spy network on? Ugh. Yeah, see, I do get some benefits by colonizing our home state here, but did save us some money here. I do need to fire that military advisor. I can't actually afford him, but it was better than losing 50 military points. Yeah, we're just barely not breaking even here. And I will lower autonomy there. For sure. And there we go. Our barracks is done building. That's nice. This is still being annoying. It's growing by 0.5. The northern port. We had heard of a river that divides the drylands, but our sailors' reports exceeded all our expectations. Arable land, rich and green, as far as the eye can see, much like Archaon. A settlement there would make the logistics of transporting large quantities of sand to Piroga easier and cheaper. Our government has since been working hard securing our claim to the province. It shall be ours. Permanent claim on Denam. Oh, yeah, they do have farmlands there. Okay, and that is owned by Ormam, so we're going to have to find another Devandi. Or sorry, Alecandi for that. We are the Devandi, they are the Alecandi. We're better than them because they're stinky and on an island. Cringe. And we are not on an island. Well, it's a big island, okay? I could seize land here. I need to seize land here. I do need to do that. And hopefully we don't have problems with our estates. I'm sure it'll be just fine. It's not like we already have a disaster popping up. No. That would never happen. It'll be fine. They'll get over it eventually. More local settler increase. That's nice. 75 a year with a 26% chance to get more. They're at 40 a year with 15% chance to get more. So hopefully we're able to finish it faster. And then grab this. Okay, so I mean, we're going to be Republican... Republic the whole time, so let's just go Republicanism for the 0.2 year the Republican tradition. It's just that good. And we may actually go for like plutocratic first. Maybe not first, but I think we will take it. Just because it does have some policies that will lead us to Republican tradition, like economic. I don't know if I really want to take economic. But, I mean, it's not bad, obviously, but we'll see. We'll see. For right now, we just need an event to happen. I don't know what event they're talking about, but there is an event that needs to happen for us to start making our way towards our freedom. Okay, Impicaos is now having higher opinion of me, and I'm assuming, yeah, I finished it already. Right? Yeah, I sure did. So we're just building a spy network here, which is fine. In fact, we could have switched this over to the spy network construction, but I think it's a little bit too late now. Do I want to take Miltech 4 right now? Yeah, there's no harm in it. Yeah, because now they have to placate us to keep us loyal. But we will be not taking military, or sorry, Diplo or admin tech first, because we need to develop institution. Now, we do have feudalism, but we will not have Renaissance, which it looks like Renaissance has spawned, question mark? Yeah, in Blue Heart. So we are going to need to develop that sooner rather than later. I can also get rid of this edict. I don't need it. It's very expensive. Probably wasted a bunch of money having it on. And look at that. We are making money. Not much money, but hey, a positive income is a positive income. I will not complain. And we get sugar up here, which is cool. I wonder, 13, did we get the 13% or do we actually have a higher chance of sugar because of the fact of who we are? I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible. Like, can a tag get a higher, I mean, I'm assuming you get a higher chance. I don't know. I know you can like switch it automatically, but we'll see. We shall see. Now, is there anything else I can be doing? Oh, there you go. That seems like an important event. Overlord intervenes. Most troubling news reached Kalakis. The Kheonai ship docked in port today. Along with the usual tax collectors that demanded the fees we owed to our mother Kheon, a small group of diplomats disembarked and headed straight for the Kalaka's consulate. They notified the administration of the new tariffs that were being imposed as a result of the newly established slave trade deal. After a brief explanation of how this deal was affecting their own trade interests, they left, making it evident that there would be no negotiations. A couple of days later, a merchant discovered that Impicaos, our trading partner, had also suffered from the same fate. The two Kheons must have conspired to suppress this endeavor. Numerous plantation owners have already voiced their dissatisfaction, and the most daring ones are organizing protests. Amidst this political turmoil, an intriguing idea has crossed Kalakis Salusa's mind. With the oligarchs riled up against the overlords, they would be easily influenced to rebel. So long as she could find allies, Keyolion could taste freedom. There are two main interested parties, Impicaos and the other Kheonai. If the two Nikis, supported by an Alecand, declared independence, they would surely overpower the greedy overlords. Alright, So the slave trade deal is removed and is diminished now. So less trade power, less production efficiency, less goods produced. But it does give us 50% liberty desire for 10 years. And Alecand gets more trade power in this area. And that is, in fact, exactly what we needed to get this to happen. Okay, cool. Independence plot. The intervention of our mother Kheon in our private business decisions caused our traders noticeable disruption to their work. 2 can play at that game. Our business partners from Impa Chaos have also suffered the same fate. We should send a diplomatic delegation to them with the proposal of a joint plot. We will combine forces to fend off our overlords and protect our interests. No longer will the distant overlords be able to dictate our lives. When we declare the independence war, we will gain 10% morale of armies and 5% discipline for 5 years. And the independence plot happens, we lose 50 diplo points. So, will they join us in our... Shoot, we didn't get enough spy network to complete this. That's okay, it's not the end of the world. We'll get it back. Now, I do need to insult my overlord. And then I need to get my independence. It's as simple as that, I guess. So you're already supporting my independence. If you weren't hostile, you would support it. You are not interested. Okay. But would it also bring in Arpa for now? I don't know. But what I was going to say I want to draft those heavy ships, but I don't know if we can. With the merchants being as strong as they are, that might not be the best idea. Decisions for an episode 2, I think. I think we're going to call it there for today. I hope you guys are excited for a new playthrough here in Anbennar. Next time, we will get our independence, hopefully. And then we will try and... I think it's mostly about uniting Devand. I don't know if it really has us go back over here, but I'm just saying... they've got precursor relics, gold, and silk. So, who knows? Maybe we take a trip over here and get some more cash money. But that is going to be it for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.